just record.
Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans by fans, with your hosts, Jessy Martin.
Because 90% of them are wrong. They're fucking wrong.
Max Taman.
You've got a plate of shit and you've got a bowl of shit. They're the same thing.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah.
John Taman.
What the hell was I talking about?
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taman.
Damn, I just love it. I just love it. Sweeping the Giants, dancing in their stadium like that, dancing down in their basement like that, waking up their babies, waking up their wives, waking up their secret boyfriends that they keep on the side in a small apartment in the Bronx. F*** the Giants, and f*** Daniel Jones, and there's my friend over there, Jessy Martin. Jessy, are you just as happy as me to say fuck the New York Giants?
Fuck the New York Giants.
Fuck the New York Giants. Down below, of course, we're going to bring the show back to a very distinguished air for our good friend Scotty Hartley. Scotty, would you like to say fuck the New York Giants for us all, please?
Fuck the New York Giants, John.
That's my boy. That's my boy down there. Is Maxwell Taman wearing his hat for some reason in the house because it's the cool thing to do. So, hey, man, fuck the Giants?
Fuck the Giants.
You can watch your language. It's a matter with you. You're my kid and all. Jesus. All right. So, everybody in the chat, welcome. Everybody on Twitter that's watching us, come over on YouTube. Chat with us in there. If you want, type fuck the Giants. We'll put it on the screen for all the world to see. Because believe it or not, this podcast goes out to all the world. So how are we feeling today, buddies?
Well,
Jessy, how are you feeling today?
Scott G stole my joke about Jessy.
Scott G stole a joke?
God damn it, Scott.
7-2.
Because they make a pill for Jesse's thing.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
Blue Chew. Go on, son.
I don't want to eat that.
You know it makes sense.
Better living through chemistry, that's what I say. So how you feeling, Jessy? Give me your first impressions on the win yesterday. 7-2.
Offensive masterpiece again.
Offensive masterpiece. Sometimes I think that would have been Sam Kinison. He was offensive as hell, and sometimes he did some masterpiece work. Scott Hartley, give me your quick impression on the game.
Yeah, very good game offensively. Defensively, we played okay, but there was some struggles at times. And yeah, it was a bit meh at times. But we took the piss at the end as well, which was great on their 1 yard line.
Honestly, we're going to have to get some kind of a Scotty's list to tell us which version of piss you guys are into for whatever you're saying, because I get lost in this. Sometimes he says, we pissed on it, and that means that was damn good. Let's have another one. I don't know. You guys and your urine fetish. Max, give me your quick your quick assessment of the game yesterday.
I'm just going to make you feel old real quick.
Go ahead.
We haven't been 7-2 since 1996.
Right. You know what?
That was the year I was born.
Yeah, year before you were born.
Jesus.
Wait, the year you were born.
You were one? Jesus.
I wasn't even 1. I was 3 months old when that streak ended.
That's right.
I was 12.
That's right. And you
I
know
watched
what?
the game sitting on his lap.
That's
so.
right. And I almost threw him out of the house because it was his fault. He didn't. I told him, don't shit in this diaper because this is the diaper you wore last week, and we won. So, and he shit in the diaper.
You know, I also couldn't shit the diaper because then he would have to go change me, and that was before the age of pausing TV. So he'd have to miss the game sometimes.
It's the reason why I had a
He
brown
let
carpet.
you sit in that shit.
There was a reason I had a brown carpet.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you just rub the kid along the rug. There you go. Watch the game. All right. So here's something we can all get behind. I want to show you this real quick. So just this. Yeah. Dak
They
said,
Those who
certainly are.
can't lip read, he said, we fucking suck.
if you can't lip read that, I don't know what's the matter with you. We fucking suck. And there's a guy right behind the referee or right behind the ball boy here doing just that. I don't know what he was doing there, but he looked like he should have had a bucket behind him. What are you doing there, bud?
I thought he was going to try and get something from Abner Woo's. What's the sponsor of the week?
Delicious pork anus.
Yeah, that's what he
I
was
don't have a
saying.
sponsor for Scotty today because I was on the bunker earlier. Didn't have time to get with our marketing team and see who our sponsor was this week.
Boy.
That's just the way it is. I'm sorry. You
We'll have to get
me
one
on
for
the
Friday.
air. You got maybe Professor Wu's Dung Beetle Farm. For all you kids at home, you can get one for Christmas. We'll see about that next week. All right, so offensively, Jesse, you called this a masterpiece.
Yeah, I mean, Cliff is always in his bag. How big is his bag?
I don't know. I scratch mine all the time. It feels pretty good.
And Jaden, I mean, goodness gracious, looking like a 10-year vet. He's the most accurate quarterback we've ever had. I don't think it's close.
Ever?
Those two,
Joey T was pretty good.
Hey, Rippon had a good deep ball.
I'm going to give it to Jaden Daniels, man.
Jesse, real quick, just wipe them glasses off because you always say we have the burgundy and gold glasses. Just want to be sure you don't have them on right now.
Oh
either.
no, they're crystal clear. I
All right.
mean,
you
he's making Terry looks really good. I mean, he's making
Terry's pretty
Terry
good in his
look
own right.
pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like we talked about this.
Some would say he's elite.
Some would.
A little while ago. Those two touchdown passes, both of them. The first one didn't seem like much. It was just quick, basically a
Little slant route.
little tiny slant route, really quick. But he zipped it in there, right where it was supposed to be.
Before the freaking defensive back had a second to react to it.
Yeah. And then the second one, oh my God, the second fucking touchdown. I mean, the defensive back had to have heard the ball. Like, zip it right past his fucking ear.
Well, he was
over
too
his
short.
shoulder,
Don't worry.
like-
Deontay Banks is
like-
too small.
Zoop, zoop. And then the two passes to my guy, which I called on the podcast last week, who had to have a big game. I mean, Brown was fucking both those passes. The one on the sideline where it looked like the ball just like
The sideline?
made
Pushed him.
Noah Brown. Just
It
like,
pushed him out.
knocked
Yeah,
him
it-
out.
yeah.
But and then the one I think it was what was it? Right, the second quarter where he just
You
lofted
got it.
lost it right over the top of the linebacker and to Noah Brown's hands. Oh my goodness, man.
I mean, honestly, the best throw for me was the one to Zacchaeus in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That 30-yard, he's wide open. I get that,
He's
but
wide
he
open,
he
yeah.
had to hit him.
Well, look, I tell you what, when you bring up that play right quick, I just want to say this. That is going for the throat. That's what that play was right there, because they were in a position where they could have run the clock, run the ball, tried to just play it conservative, and no. Man, they took that shot because that's what I think Jaden Daniels brings to the table. When you asked earlier, how good can he be on the bunker? If you haven't seen the bunker yet, it'll be out tomorrow, and a couple of us were on that show. How good can he be? So let's go with that. I'm going to borrow that question because I'm going to say, when you see that when you look at his game, all right, and then you see the passing yardage that you think that it should be, maybe not necessarily think that it should be, but when you say a guy is really kicking ass, he's throwing for 300 yards, 350 yards. He's not. He's throwing for a reasonable amount of yardage. It's the accuracy and it's the effectiveness of the passing that he's doing. It really marks everything.
The example for that right now is just look at Jared Goff.
Exactly.
Like that team. That's a team that put up 50 points last week, and he had 96 passing yards.
Right.
So-
It's not necessarily that he doesn't have to throw. Jaden is just so effective when he does throw it. He puts the ball where it needs to be for either some yak or to be able to get the first down, to be able to keep the chains moving, keep the clock running. And that's what I see about it right there. Scotty,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm totally lost. Save me.
I mean, honestly, masterclass, going back to Jesse's point, I completely agree. I think that Cliff, we said this on our post-game show yesterday, Cliff's going to have to be getting some head coaching looks at the end of this season, because whether he takes it or not, Jesse, I get that. I understand where you're coming from. But in all seriousness, he is showing one absolute genius offensively. He is. Now, some people have said in the past it drops off towards the end of the season. We're not seeing that at the moment, that there is any drop-off in this at all. If anything, it's getting better as each game goes on. We also have to think here and credit. The thing that's getting me is I'm looking forward to every single Sunday. I get up and I think to myself, it's fucking game day. I'm excited, and I'm not. I've never felt like this before. I felt yesterday, in all honesty,
It's magical.
No, but
I've never
as a
felt
fan,
this way before about a football team.
and I know you take the piss.
There it is again.
The piss, honestly, fucking hell. I can't even get it out there. But I'm just looking at this and thinking, in my whole fandom, I've never experienced this, and looking at this team and thinking, just look at the growth that we have in this team. That, you know, going from where we've been last year even, or, you know, even 2 or 3 years ago when you sneak a division, you look at where we are now in comparison to where we've come from. Dan Quinn and Cliff and the semblance of this coaching setup has been nothing short of remarkable. I mean, if he doesn't get head coach of the year, then something is wrong with
Dan
this
Campbell
NFL.
is really booking hard for it.
Oh, come
You
on,
got to
man.
admit.
Yeah,
you got to admit.
Yeah,
about
he
that,
is.
though.
But look at where they've come from last year. The Lions.
The Lions were expected to be this right now.
Correct.
We were not.
To be this right now, they're expected
Yeah.
to be good. To be
Oh,
this
yeah.
right now, by the way, Scotty brought to you by. I just never felt that. way
100%, and that was only because I saw 97 out there. I was woohoo!
before. Scotty wakes up. on
There is
Sunday
my
morning,
guy.
Rolls over to his wife and says, "Hey, honey, we've got time for a 2-minute tickle."
No,
Well,
it is
he's
Sunday.
excited. He's happy.
The day of rest.
Have you become the official LGBTQ plus? What is plus? I don't know. What is that? Sub? Do I have to have a bundle? Do I get LGBTQ plus Hulu and then Disney? What do I get with it? Is that, I don't know what the plus is. But we could be the official podcast of anything. Yeah, fuck it. We're the official podcast of all the
It's the
LGBTQs.
official that you're just a boomer. It's okay.
Fuck it. What's the plus? Tell me what the plus is.
It's the
I
other
have no
letters that aren't
idea.
included in the initial acronym.
Well, I mean, goddamn
Well,
it! If you
in-
got
in
an
the
acronym
alphabet soup.
that goddamn big, you need marketing help.
Well, that's what the
you
plus
need.
is for.
No, I'm sorry, but you're already at 6 letters. It's way too late for a plus.
Well, that's
to be
only
stuck
5.
on there.
So
Just, you made us all stop calling you homos because you thought that was offensive. Now you want us to remember a whole goddamned alphabet to be able to call you properly. And now Jesse's ready to throw me off the show.
it's only
All right,
5
I'm just joking, all you alphabet people. Don't come
Other
after me.
podcasts are available, but I'm just saying.
No, hey, you're not going to have that kind of fun over there. They're afraid of it.
That's true. That's true.
All right. So, all right, Cliff is showing he's not the. I can't even read it. I'm
Cliff
so
is
stuck.
showing
Not being
how
the-
not being the head coach allows him to focus 100% on the offense, and that's true.
True. That
That's
is
why
No,
I
I
don't
agree.
think he's
I
going
do
anywhere.
agree with you.
I think he's having too much fun, and he's doing what he does best. And I don't think, I think just like freaking Ben Johnson last year, even though he was a dumb ass prick for not telling us, hey, I'm not going to take this meeting, decided to text in mid fucking flight. I think there's people out there, whether it's defensive coaches, offensive coaches, quarterback coaches, whatever. Sometimes it's just too much for them. Being a
Yeah.
head coach is just too goddamn much for them.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
focus on what you do best. You're still going to get paid a hell of a lot of money.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
you
Oh,
know,
and I wouldn't
wha-
be surprised to be paying more money towards the end of the
I
season.
mean, like if you're in
No
Cliff
cap on
Kingsbury's
coaches.
shoes right now, look at the jobs that are probably going to be opened. There's not really too many, good quarterback teams. Quarterbacks that are coming out of college right now aren't Jaden Daniels. Why would you want to leave?
Philly.
Money.
Sirianni's not going
Money talks to a lot of people, but there are some people that, and it's rare when a person realizes that that's where they belong. You get a guy like, say, Norv Turner, right, who comes from back in the day when we were winning 7-2, and then went right. That was when that happened, right? Then and we went 8-8. All right, so
remember too, that
everybody's-
year we were 7-1.
all right, we went 8-8, and so I don't see that happening this time, but don't get too far out over your skis. Fuck it. Go ahead, Scott. I'm trying to think of too many damn things.
I'm just saying, like being a fan at the moment is awesome. I mean, my other teams are absolutely fucking terrible, and then I look at this and think, you know what, this is awesome. Watching this and watching how we're playing. I mean, we're talking about going again in January, coming across again, and it's like, hang on a minute, Are we getting carried away here? Yes, probably. Yes, we
yeah.
probably are getting carried away.
Because I ain't going to the game with you. I ain't got that kind of money to go to a playoff game.
Like one of the things for me that's just like really impressive about watching the offense is specifically our wideouts. Every single one of them has a job that they do well. De'Ami Brown had one catch on one target, and it's almost like it's a De'Ami Brown given, where every time he's on the field, he's going to catch a screen pass and turn it up 15 to 20 yards. And when he does,
Terry McLaurin, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. I mean,
right? Like it's just they're doing their job. And I mean, look at the offensive line. Oh goodness,
there she is.
Why she got a mustache today?
I don't know.
But to your point though, Max, do you not think that's
LGBTQ?
just that's the plus? Yeah,
we're not going to call her Mr. Happy today because Mr. Happy is too much of a. We can't give it any gender at all. So let me find our Mr. Happy music real quick, so we can just do this, so people will stop complaining. Goes
by the pronouns they them. But anyway, Max is happy. Yeah, just happy.
Right. So this is for being 8
Fuck
or 7.
the Giants. Fuck the Giants. Fuck the Giants.
Daniel Jones. Fuck you, Daniel. Up yours, Daniel. Fuck you, Daniel Jones.
Fuck the Giants.
Up yours, Brian Dable. Your head looks like a butt plug.
Fuck the Giants.
Fuck you, Giants. Fuck you, Daniel. And she's stuck in my drink, you lush.
Fuck the
All
Giants.
right, that's enough for her. She's had enough. Yeah, I tell you what. I'm looking for a button on my computer to turn her off. How silly was that? All right, so you were saying, Scotty? Sorry.
I was just saying to Max's point. I know what you're saying, but wide receivers is caught almost by committee. And for how many weeks will we talking about who's going to be wide receiver 2, who's going to be wide receiver 2? It doesn't matter anymore. Zacchaeus is out there.
We didn't need one. I said that right.
You got Noah. Yeah, you did. Noah Brown out there doing his thing. You got tight ends that are catching. This team, man. I might sound a bit like, but I'm loving every minute of
this way before, Scott.
I haven't felt this way about anything, John.
Scott, I just want to put it into perspective real quick. Scott, we are almost at the most wins you've ever seen in your fandom, and it's only early November.
Correct. Exactly. Can I not get excited for once? Get on the
your
train
hair is
with
standing
me.
on end. You keep trying to stuff it down.
Yeah, I know. No, it's because I've been to Turkey, John, and I should have got that hair transplant. I just didn't do it. You know what I mean? Just, come back. What would you have done if I came back on the pod with a big booth on?
Oh, I'd have loved it. I would have had more fun than I could possibly shake a stick at. And believe me,
Chris Myers is he has a lovely syrup as well, doesn't he, Chris Myers?
He got a lovely hairpiece there. Chris Myers for Fox Sports here talking about the Commanders of the Giants.
Just so I don't forget it.
I swear to God, he sounds like he's just got freaking phlegm in his throat all the time. We're talking about the Giants out there to run but there goes Daniel Jones.
Just real quick, if I ever have to hear Mark Sanchez call one of our games for the rest of the season,
So
my ears are going to bleed.
Did he have a man bun, or was it me?
He was a man bun. He had a man bun.
And what it does is they pull it up tight so that his brain will come up a little further out of his ass so that he can maybe think about something to say.
Hey, never forget, Mark Sanchez had the best handoff in 2018 for us. All right?
Right.
Well, he did,
hey, you know
actually.
what?
You're right,
that dude went to 2 AFC title games in a row.
He did.
Remember?
Scott doesn't.
In both.
Scott doesn't.
Nope.
Yeah, I do. It's all right. I remember.
I mean, frankly, I think they should have won at least that Pittsburgh game.
I don't think it fucking makes any difference. Mark Sanchez is an awful announcer, and so is Chris Myers. I always hate when Chris Myers is doing the game because I think, hey, we're not one of the worst teams in the league anymore. Wow, we got this guy.
It was the guy there was like a 5-year period. We had Chris Myers or Sam Rosen every week.
Sam Rosen and what's the other one that I can't stand?
The D team is what it is.
What was the guy's name? The old guy. Oh God, what was his name?
That's helpful.
No,
have you seen the Verizon halftime show? Average age of 92.
You know what I'm talking about. Oh my.
The old guy. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Dick Stockton. Dick Stockton. Hey, Commanders are out there. The Redskins are down there. Yeah, Dick Stockton. He'd been on for a long time. Anyway, we're way off we're back into the bullshit session.
Real quick, for Deluxe, the Rex Ryan Mark Sanchez tattoo, 10 out of 10.
I do remember that. All right. Okay, so overall on the offense, we're very pleased. Nothing can stop us. You're right. we don't need a number 2 wide receiver to be designated. Jesse, you did call it on Friday that you wanted to see Noah Brown have a big game. He was your what do we call it now? Command performer. That's what he wanted.
Right.
Yeah, we've changed it from X Factor. If you weren't there on Friday, you're missing some shit. So, and he was right off the bat. He drew that pass interference down at the 2-yard line. They targeted him multiple times in the first quarter.
Terry's touchdown.
What's that?
He set the pick for Terry's touchdown.
That's fine. We didn't get called for it. They got called for it.
Because it was a natural pick.
It was
You
a
know, I'll tell
natural
you
pick.
something. Brian Dable could use a natural pick.
I will say,
Brian
though, that
Dable, I mean, talking about bad coaching and going back and like thinking about the Ron Rivera days, Scott G's right. Giants gave us a gift after calling or not not calling that timeout, and just basically gifting us another play, kind of like a free play. So there was multiple poor coaching decisions on Daboll's side. I mean, why would you go for 2 there? Okay, the analytics.
You don't trust that kicker.
No, that had nothing to do with it.
He hit his kicks.
They've been doing this all year round and have not. They're 0 for like 10 on 2-point conversions, or 0 for 7 on 2-point conversions.
Maybe they felt good about how they were opening up holes for the run game yesterday, that they maybe could do it, but then they tried to pass.
I mean, it just did not really make much sense right there. I mean,
I actually thought I thought we cocked up time management towards the end of the first half. I thought, oh God, this is terrible. And then Jaden decides, I'll just throw it to Terry.
Yeah, I'm going to score anyway. That was like an 11-play drive that they went on that capped off a touchdown with. Jaden's freaking management at the end of a half or at the end of a game is freaking spectacular. I think I saw a stat today where in the last 4 minutes of either half, I don't even remember the number. It's astronomical. The
fourth quarter of he's got the highest rated passer rating of any quarterback pretty much ever in the fourth quarter or something like that.
There you go. I also saw, of all the mind-bending stats that are coming along. Now, the NFL has a habit of doing these, what I call stupid stats, where they say he's the first quarterback to throw 9 touchdowns in the first 9.5 quarters of the third game from the third game on through the 6th. They'll always find a way to say he's the best of whatever the fuck he's doing. But 3 turnovers by this offense is the least.
In 9 games.
In over 9 games since 1933. That is crazy. That is Sammy Baugh times. Right? And, if Keith was here, he'd yell at me, who you hailing, Sammy Baugh? Just for anybody who's been
the reason
around for
number
a long
33
time,
is
you get a
retired.
nice joke. But that's incredible to me. That's like jaw-dropping. That is, when I say efficiency when it comes to Jaden Daniels, how can you be better than that? How can you be better than that?
Efficient.
Because I had a lot of fun on the bunker today, and I didn't have time to prepare any questions. I'm just going to steal yours and say, I'll start with Max. Max, how does Jaden continue this? How does he keep this up?
I mean, the answer is just to not let it get to his head and just to keep doing what he's doing, because it's not
Wait a
even.
second, you prepare for this podcast?
Believe it or not, I do.
Jeez.
Do you write a list, John?
I sometimes do. I write a list. Did you have a list
Sorry,
today,
Max.
by the
Sorry,
way?
I had to do
No,
that.
you're good. It was funny. No, I mean,
That's the point of this show.
it's just to keep up the status quo. He's not doing anything flashy. He's not doing anything crazy. He's just playing Jaden Daniels football, and this is just kind of what you would take it to expect if you watched him back at LSU. Every single game he just came into it, and it felt like it was just, the game was just there. It was in front of him, and he never let it get to his head. It didn't matter who his opponent was. I think these next 3 games are going to be really telling going forward as just to what we actually have with him. Because, we're 7-2, but we've got 2 good teams, and then we've got a Dallas team that's just a rival. Like, it's going to be interesting just to see what
stink.
Yeah, but how many times?
No, not
have
the
you-
Cowboys. That's the Giants, not the
It's an
Cowboys.
NFC East game. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I know what
but
you mean,
how
but
many times have you seen a bad Cowboys team beat this team for no reason? I gave you 2015 Monday Night Football. Deshaun Jackson fumbles the ball off his own butt on a punt return.
Yes, he did.
I sat
He did
there
do
right
that.
next to you and watched that game, and that team was awful. So
Jaden is
But there's
cool,
no- there's
calm, and collected.
All right, so let me keep this going. Hold on, Scott. I actually did do some preparation here. I'm going around the room here. So Jesse, can Jaden keep it up? Can he keep it up
Don't
at this
see
pace?
why he wouldn't or couldn't. I mean, he's cool, calm, and collected. Everything he
How
does.
do you
He
be
doesn't
collected?
Get too,
How-
he doesn't get too high. Doesn't get too low. He is just like he's a California kid, man. I mean, he's
stays
just
level.
like, yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this, Scott. I think it was the second quarter. They came with a cornerback blitz. They left him unblocked. Jaden sidestepped him and ran for like 20 yards.
yep.
So Scott, how fucking stupid did that goddamn quarterback feel when he went running by like that? Yeah,
That was funny. It was so good. It was so good.
So, yeah, just to bring it back to
your
Jaden
point,
there.
though. Yeah, to your point, he can keep going with this. It's just efficiency is the key there. It's making, and as you said, Max, it's the status quo. It's keeping it level. He seems that grounded person that's there, but also the winning mentality is there from Jaden. You saw that at the end of the Bears game. I am him. He was shouting. I am it, and I'm like,
got
yeah,
that-
man, you
he's
should
got the
be.
tiger in him, yeah.
He's got that, and if you're used to winning through the college football program, and you come into an organisation that is on the change and is going on an upward trajectory, then why not keep this going? I don't think it changes. I think he is as good as we think he is. And all the plaudits are coming in, and has it changed him so far? No. Look at other quarterbacks that have a little bit of a flash in the pan. And I mean, I watched Caleb Williams last night. He was awful. He was god awful.
Yeah,
And
he
I
was
just
not
think
good.
to myself, no, come on now. This is the number one overall pick. And then he does one flashy thing, and the whole media world circus goes crazy. Jaden Daniels has been doing this for what, 8 weeks?
8 weeks.
You know what I mean? And you think, come on now, he is him, and I don't think it's going to change. I don't think it's going to change as long
I
as he
think it's
keeps
almost time
to
for
what he's doing.
serious MVP talk.
I agree,
I
Jesse.
think
I
it's
really do.
been time.
I think we were there 2 weeks ago, but I think we were in the talks of it. Like he could get 1 to 2 votes. Now it's getting to the point where if he keeps just his level of performance, you could definitely see him just walking away with it.
No, I don't know about
Let's
walking
see.
away
Let's
with
see.
it when Jared
Let's see
Goff's
how
doing what he's
Mahomes. Let's see
doing.
how Mahomes does as well tonight against.
Mahomes is really
Tampa
not
Bay.
playing well.
No, but I know he's not. But he is still going to get talked because he's a name. We talked about this the other day.
If you
Jared
really
Goff
take,
is
if
Derrick
you
Henry.
take the
Yeah.
MVP for what it really is, the
most valuable for your team.
player for the team.
Right.
You take Pat Mahomes away from the Chiefs, they're still going to win 9-10 games. Okay,
Their defense.
I
You
don't
take
think so.
Lamar
Their defense is
away
doing
from the Ravens, they're still going to win
10 to 12.
10 games
with
something like
Derrick
that.
Henry.
You take
Not 10 to 12.
Jaden away from the Commanders, we're winning 4 or 5 games.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now you're all down on Marcus Mariota. Where's your faith, man?
I'm being real.
He was
don't
good.
think
He
Mariota
was
can
good
do
against
it?
Carolina. He was good against Carolina. I'll give him that.
Real.
Well, good against
Look,
Carolina. Doesn't
we
mean
would've
anything
won
unless you're the
Carolina,
Saints.
We would have won the Saints, and we would have won the Titans. That's about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, the most valuable player for your team, and I mean this
Josh Allen.
lights, camera, they're on Lamar. Lamar's won it 2 years in a row. I don't think they're going to give it to Lamar. I think the
Josh Allen.
closest competition to
What's
me,
happened to Max? He looks like he's in an
Josh
Al
Allen.
Qaeda video.
Did the lights flicker?
No, you're blinking
Oh.
like crazy. Your audio's good, but yeah, for a second there, you look like you had horror movie eyes.
All right. It's
Yeah.
going to go this way.
He's in an orange
No.
jumpsuit. Terrible.
Yeah, you're still jump out and come back. Anyway,
But
you were saying,
I just think people are talking about it, but they're not seriously talking about it. I do.
I know what you mean. And do you think that's because
Sorry,
he's a
I don't
rookie?
agree. I don't agree with you, Scott G. The Chiefs'
I
defense
do.
is great, man.
Yeah, but
And
defense
you
will
got
win
Andy
you
Reid on
games.
your side. You got Andy Reid on your side. They're winning.
well, it's their defense. Oh wait, he was possessed by aliens. I got the wrong Scott G comment. but without Mahomes, Chiefs equal garbage. And it's their defense.
Don't disagree.
Their fucking defense is. They're saying, okay, if you can score 26 points, 23 points, you're going to win today because their defense is that freaking good. And that's the story of the Chiefs right now. They're 9-0 or 8-0 because of their fucking defense, or 7-0, whatever the hell they are. They're undefeated, not because of Mahomes and not because of any receivers or any running backs or anything, no Kelsey or anything like that. It's because of that goddamn defense, and I'll give them credit for that. But how long that can last, I don't care. I'll say this. The Commanders and the Eagles are the two teams in the NFC right now, and the Lions. Those are the three. All right.
Watch out for the Rams, man. Now they're starting to get healthy. They're good.
They're not 4-4.
They got took to task yesterday. They lost, didn't they? They lost.
No, they won in
No,
overtime.
Oh, they won in overtime. That's right. Seahawks blew it at the end.
You got Nakua throwing punches though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Stupid.
Whatever. But the fact, that was a much closer game than they should have allowed. They're barely above 500. They're getting healthy, I guess, but still, I think that the Commanders, the Lions, and the Eagles are the teams in the NFC, and we're going to find out what we are against the Eagles real soon.
McCaffrey
All right, so it is
back.
the mid-season point, right? This is week 9. We just won. We're 7-2. So let's get rid of Scott G. Scott, you got to go. Get you off the screen there. We're going to do some mid-season grades. All right, I wrote this down at the quarter point as to what grades we gave, and I don't have it in front of me because
This would
I
have
don't know
been
where
great to put on the outline. Now I'm unprepared.
I don't have any outline for this today. I'm too busy on this shit. So I am the world's worst podcast host, and there's a reason for it. But here's part of it. I wrote down our quarter mark grades, and I don't know where the fuck that is, so I don't have it in front of me. So I'm just going to say, Jesse, at the quarter point, you gave the Commanders a D. No, you didn't. Where would you grade them at the half point right now? A through F.
Are you talking about the team as a whole?
Yeah, the team, the Commanders as a whole. We're at the halfway point.
I would give them an A-.
Okay.
And the minus
Why
is
not a B+?
defense. Because I think Jaden masks all the deficiencies on this team.
Is there that much of a difference between an A- and a B+?
Yes.
Yeah, the whole
Is there?
grade level.
Yeah.
Is there?
As much as 8 points.
Okay, I guess. All right, so then you're going to give him an A-. How about you, Scotty?
Overall, is this the full overall team, or what was this? Sorry, I'm looking at.
It's all right. What this is
totals from
called the
start.
overthinking moment. We're going to go way over what we need to think about for this. Yeah, it's just a grade for the team at the midway point. Where do you feel that we are, A through F?
I'd say a B. It's a high B, B plus maybe. Oh, there's John's gone. Never mind. Yeah, it's a high
You
B
said
plus.
B plus, and he said, "I'm out."
Probably only because the defense has pulled us down a little bit there. But offensively, A. But yeah, B.
I put the minus on there because of the defense, and I think our special teams is freaking great, and our offense is off the chains. Our defense is what's letting us down.
I had us at 7 and 10 for the entire season. I'm looking at the predictions here, so we're there now, which is just ridiculous. Max, you were 11-6.
Yes.
Jesse, you were 10-7. John was 9-8.
Jesse, I just want to know, when it comes to the defense, what do you view as it being successful? Because compared to last season,
Some consistency, and we haven't had that whatsoever.
I think we're getting some consistency from pass rush. I think Dante Fowler Jr. is he's a weapon.
I think the only time we're not really consistent is just against the run. The run is what's killing us.
That's it. Yeah.
So all right. So just think about it this way: when we sell out to stop the run, when there has been times where we have stopped the run. They we can get thrown on. Okay, I mean they light us up in the passing game. When we sell out to stop the pass, they light us up in the run game. We talked about this actually on the bunker today.
So
it's a pick your poison with this team,
right?
Because we haven't really beat a good team yet, a good offensive team besides the Bengals, and that was just a shootout. We didn't stop them one time. They scored.
You're right.
They didn't
But
punt either.
Jesse, when you say though that
That was week 2. Or no, week 3.
But when you say that you want consistency, and when we sell out to stop the pass, they run, and vice versa. That's just football. Like, at what point though is it that you're deeming this team as a failure?
Who said this is a failure?
I mean,
this defense is a failure, and if
right, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
At what point do you view it as not being failure?
when we're not getting gashed 5.6 yards a fucking run.
Right, but you realize
on a regular basis.
But in terms of total defense, this is a top half defense, which tells you that this is a thing that's happening league wide.
Those stats are skewed because of the offenses that we faced, man.
Right, but
seriously.
But if you look at it though, the offenses we faced were still giving up 165 yards on the ground a game, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of all that, it's a league-wide problem. If you look at the rushing numbers, they're up as compared to normal, and the passing numbers are down. So
one of the things I notice is that the offensive line is literally allowed to fucking hold now. So a lot of things are happening in regard to that because they can just grab people and throw them out of the way. Look, I'll tell you what. Right now, the Commanders' defense average is giving up 21 points a game. That, in my opinion, is where the strength is. Sorry, I don't mean to bust in on the conversation here, but
when we play good teams, that's how stats are skewed like that, though.
That's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because what we're averaging
when we
to
play
score.
good offensive teams, no.
What are we doing when we're playing good defensive
teams?
teams? But we're not a full team yet. We're a team 1 year into a rebuild, and we knew that we weren't going to be able to do it. And I heard you, when I came, I don't know what happened. My internet blinked or something like that. But when I came back, I heard you discuss what we were talking about, and you're right. We sell out to stop the pass because that's our weakness. Is we cannot go giving up 40-yard chunks, which we will. All right. If we try to play a standard run defense, most of the time I would say that we're going to get burned because they're going to just look at St. Just and go, you know what, we're going to play action.
And I think that's been the big change of the season for defense because after the Cincinnati game, you haven't really seen them get torched through the air.
Right,
I think
because
they're taking
our sack numbers and our pressure numbers have gone way up.
The Ravens didn't torch us through the air; they torched us on the ground.
They
torched
both.
us one. Well, no, they didn't get anything downfield. Remember, they got that Zay Flowers screen pass that went for like 45 yards.
Jesse, Lamar threw
Are we
for
forgetting
Lamar.
what we
Lamar,
saw?
you're right. Lamar threw for 300 yards, but you're also looking at Lamar Jackson. Like you're looking at one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
He wears a balaclava in October.
Lamar does this against everybody.
In the playoffs, to compete with these teams that we're going to be facing in the playoffs, okay? Our defense isn't ready to do that.
You're right, and we're year one into a rebuild. You have to build an offense.
Okay, that's
defense,
fine. But I can call this defense bad because it is bad.
Right.
Yes,
and
we are
so,
in a
okay. But what I'm asking you is, at what point are you considering them not bad? Because all you've been giving me is just
when
vague
we can
statements
compete, when we can stop decent teams at least 3-4 times and make them punt.
Okay.
I mean,
fair.
that's
Consistently get them off the field.
We got to be able to attempt to get these guys, these good offenses off the field a couple times. Because again, like Jaden Daniels, I've said it before, we're putting a lot of pressure on this kid, and he's handling it. Like he is handling the pressure, and that's something that's fucking amazing with this kid.
I gotta say though, the bend but don't break has worked. We're averaging giving up 21 points. We're averaging scoring about 30. I don't know what we've got right now, but it's a big margin of difference in what we're doing. So it's really not having that much put on Jaden. I don't think they haven't let him get into a point where he's way down in a football game yet. We haven't been down by more than a touchdown, I think, in any one game except maybe game one. And I honestly believe even if you had Evans and Godwin back, if we played the Buccaneers tomorrow, it might be different. But
maybe I don't know.
I think,
but again,
we're playing better.
We can only play who our schedule,
exactly
lines play. But we do have to admit we've played a lot of bad offensive teams.
Yes,
that's true.
You get with the fourth place schedule. I'm just trying to get you to see, like, is it a bad defense? Maybe. Is it a defense that is showing improvement with what they have and is proving that they're maybe 1 to 2 pieces away? Yes.
So that brings a question. Trade deadline is tomorrow at 4:00. Mm-hmm. What will help? Scott, we'll start with you. You've been quiet over there being polite.
It has to be a cornerback, without shadow of a doubt. If we don't get a cornerback, I'm with Jesse from yesterday. I'm going to be a bit pissed off that we're not going to get cornerback in because it's clearly evident. I mean, as you said yesterday, John, if you could play our WhatsApp chat on here, it would be delightful.
You useless cunts. I believe is what you said.
It was, yeah. When we gave up,
everybody in the damn chat was pissed off at this fucking defense. Not
absolutely.
I was not happy, but you guys go fucking bonkers, man.
Benjamin
you
St.
useless
Juice.
cunts. That was great.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I had to go.
Oh no, believe me. Don't apologize to me, babe. I love that.
When we give up to that tight end, I was like, yeah. Anyway,
oh god,
I actually thought we were genuinely going to lose
Jessy
the game.
Said. When we hit that touchdown to the tight end, look at it. This is where we're going to lose. This is what's going to happen. We're going to lose.
But I was on with the Jessy train. I was on that train with you, mate. And you know, it's one of them. We need a cornerback desperately because we just don't have a. I mean, Benjamin St. Just is a serviceable second cornerback 2, cornerback 3. He's not. It is not cornerback 1.
No.
We've seen this experiment for 4 years.
To be able to help,
he hasn't shown it.
Help sell out and stop the run. We can't do it with the cornerbacks that we have. Right. I think we're 3 pieces away from being a halfway decent defense. I think we need a really stout pass rusher. Like we just don't have our pass. Look, Fowler's doing great.
Armstrong's doing fine. Farrell's doing fine. They're getting out and getting after him.
We still need that top tier pass rusher. And I think we need 2 cornerbacks. We need one shutdown cornerback and another solid starter.
Emmanuel
Sanders
Forbes
still needs to go back into the slot. And Igbenogany, he is a depth piece.
He is, but you know what? He fits the mold that Quinn likes, and he's been playing pretty well. Forbes, 0 snaps yesterday. 0 snaps. The guy never got on the field. So either we are somehow way out of our minds and expecting to trade him. I don't know what for. Maybe we could trade him for a cup of Italian ice or something. Maybe we could trade him.
Maybe if you give him up in return for a cornerback, and it's like a pick swap, like a 7th.
What's that for? Giving him up in return for a cornerback is like giving somebody a wrapper of a fucking lollipop and
Forbes
saying, "Give us
has
a
a first-round
cornerback."
contract. Unless you're really like in a cap space, you're not going to want to take that cap number on for someone who is not playing.
So okay, let's hear some names. Jesse, who do you think we should go after, and what would you pay? We're all agreed on cornerback.
You have the Marshawn Lattimore,
right?
Yeah, not getting him.
Denzel Ward.
Why not?
You have Tre'Davious White, and he's not, 3rd round pick. Fuck yeah,
it's a buyer's market.
And
clock's ticking.
The Jonathan Jones.
Jonathan
Jones to me, no. He's playing fine, but he's not a number 1 cornerback, and he's old. I mean, I wouldn't hate it, but. To me, I think is Tre'Davious White or Lattimore would be or Ward would be my top pick. Ward would be my top pick because he's younger. But the 2 that I would spend a 3rd round pick on would be Ward and Lattimore. Actually, I probably wouldn't go as high as 3rd round because Lattimore's old and he does have it's like $16 million a year contract or something like that.
Greg Newsome,
a 5th round pick if we could get him for that, but he's not really a cornerback 1,
Right.
Come on, he's a cornerback 1 on this team. That's what I'm saying to you.
But
if you're gonna spend assets, you're either gonna spend them on a 1-year rental, or you're gonna go after somebody you can keep for a while.
So that's why you go for someone like Jones from New York, from New England. I apologise. Who I've been looking at and saying, "Hey, correct." That's what I mean. Paying a 7th, they'll take that because and it's going to be inexpensive because he's older, so it's a 1-year rental. What are you losing from doing that? And I also think we have to get a pass rusher in as well tomorrow, of some description, because or a DT even. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Did stay.
You're standing out a little bit. What were you saying, Max?
So the last 2 times we've traded for secondary, you're good. I just want to bring us back in our heads real quick. The last 2 times we've traded in season for secondary was D'Angelo Hall in 2009.
Worked out.
And in that pick, we gave up a 2nd and a 5th.
It's a different market. It's a different.
I know. I'm just wanting to state right. Historical. The next time was when we got Ha Clinton Dix.
Terrible.
So
Yeah, that's a regime that was a bunch of clowns.
Wasn't that some sort of like money dump from the
Packers, wasn't it?
yeah, but at the same time, remember too, we were 6-2, and it was we were trying to at least solidify our secondary because Monte Nicholson was our starting free safety.
Right.
So
we were high on.
But he had already been
Clinton Dix 'cause
playing
he was a high
bad,
draft
and that's
pick.
why.
So we got an upgrade from Monte to Ha, and then Alex Smith breaks his leg, and then the most notable thing that Ha Clinton Dix did for us was run away from Saquon Barkley as he
That's
ran
right.
for a 70-yard
He
touchdown.
escorted him into the
I
end
got
zone.
one
So-
interception.
He did. He got one pick. All right, I want to address this that Scott
But-
G had to say that Benjamin St. Juice made the stop on 4th down play.
He did.
Listen, I'll say this, Scott. That's true, and I will liken this to that little tickle you get in your stomach when you leave the roadway and go airborne while you're heading down the side of a fucking hillside that's going to leave you with 3 broken legs and a freaking fractured skull. It's like that. Oh, that feels good for us.
I will say though that if we don't end up making a move tomorrow for a corner specifically, looking at the free agent market in 25, there's a few that are notable. For me, the notable ones that are on here include Asante Samuel Jr., who is going to be 25 by the end of the season. You've got Elijah Molden from the Chargers as well. You've got Jeff Okudah, who has kind of come on of late for Houston.
No.
You look at Jeff Okudah, and he was not good in Detroit. Get him to Houston, it's a different story. I'm not saying quarterback one.
It was terrible
Well-
for the Falcons as well.
He's not playing that great. I mean, he's not nowhere near his draft
Right.
stock.
But what I'm saying is he doesn't need to be a cornerback one. But is he better than what we have? Yes.
Yes, agreed.
Well, yeah, but at
he
the
is
same
better
time,
than
If you're going out in free agency and getting a cornerback,
I don't think they are.
you have to. I'm talking about in free agency next
Yeah, I know.
year.
I still don't.
You have to. I mean, we have $100+ million to spend.
Right, and you could spend that money elsewhere, get a depth piece in Okudah, and draft one because frankly, this
That's what I
corner
think they'll do.
this corner draft is very strong.
Yeah, I don't think that they want to. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be a Kuda, but I would think that they're probably more interested in spending in free agency on some depth and building their team through the draft. I think that that's probably true. Scott, you had said, now, all right, we're all agreed that we want to go shopping for a cornerback tomorrow. I'd like to see us take a look at Marshawn Lattimore. He might cost a little bit more, but
Yeah.
he's young. He's got a future. And like I said, you either are making one of two kinds of deals here. You're either selling out for a veteran where you're paying nothing. We got 3 7th-round picks. You're paying one of those 7th-round picks for some fucking guy to come in here and hold it down for the end of the year while we try to make a Super Bowl push, which I don't disagree with. We're 7-2 at the halfway point. These windows don't open often, and when it starts to creak open, you try to push through. You don't just go, oh, well, we've only got a rookie quarter. We should hold up. No, you go for it. So
Dan
making
Marino.
some sort of moves. What's that?
Dan
Marino, right. Went to the Super Bowl as the rookie year and never got back. But when you have a chance, you take it. And I don't necessarily think that they'll overspend here. So if you got those two choices, you're going for a younger guy that you can build out into the future, or you going for that stopgap. I'd rather go for somebody like Lattimore. Jesse, you had mentioned before on the Bunker podcast, which everybody will hear tomorrow, and this is a spoiler, but Jesse said you're up to maybe a 3rd-round pick. We got 2 3rd-round picks. You might be interested in giving something like that for him.
I'd
Scott,
start with the 4th, but if you're
Yeah.
if you're in battles with something, hell, I mean,
you got that
said
there
it,
in your
John.
pocket.
Now
right.
is the time. Why waste it?
Right.
if there's
You got an
opportunity.
opportunity here. We're 7-2.
To be honest with you, I don't think we have a chance in hell of doing anything in the playoffs, especially with the way it's
Strange
shaping up
things
right
happen.
now. Unless we shore up the cornerback room.
Yeah.
the CB1, that is important. That will help us stop the run game because you have a guy back there that you can rely on to cover these really good receivers. I mean, I'm going to name a couple of the receivers that we have the potential to go up against in the playoffs. Justin Jefferson, okay? A.J. Brown.
We're going to see him in 2 weeks.
Look, those are just the two of Green Bay, for instance. I mean, they got 3 receivers over there that will
So do the Eagles.
wipe. They will wipe their ass with Benjamin St. Juice's shoe as they're fucking running down the field, catching a touchdown.
Sounds like a good thing for us. Kick them in the ass. But no,
So-
the Eagles. All right, did you see Jahan
got two of
Dotson's catch yesterday? He had a crazy catch, man. He doubled his yardage yesterday in one play.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, these
Right. Right. And you got the thing is this though, Jesse.
we got nobody to cover any of those guys.
Nobody else does either. All right. Those guys are the ones that are going to run over anybody, but you got to come up with a scheme to be able to do it. And you need players to be able to do that. And I'm all for going for somebody like Lattimore. And I like the idea of spending a fourth. Scott, you had said earlier he's going to be too expensive. I'm curious as to say why, because I think it's a buyer's market. Look, tomorrow's the deadline. You want to move this guy, or you want to keep paying him while you try to think about rebuilding?
I completely understand that. I mean, if you've got rid of your head coach as well today, as New Orleans have, it's going to be tough to keep him, because what does the GM do?
Clean
the GM's
house.
trying to think about is he
His
going
own
to be out
job.
of a job by the end of the season, and what are they doing? And then to sell you what is essentially your key piece on that entire team is going to be quite tough to stomach. But there's a lot of people in the market for Lattimore, so maybe the price does have to go up, and maybe Jesse's right there. I
do
think
have
we
that
also
third.
have to look at. We also have to look at. I mean, the problem I've got here is a week ago, or even in the last week, players have been going for sevenths, pick swaps, sixths. We're talking left tackles.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
never happens. You know, we're talking.
there's-
People are
it's a-
talking about
it's a
Brandon
buyer's market.
Scherf. People are talking about Brandon Scherf going from the Jags for as little as a sixth. I mean,
There's
really?
multiple teams. Yeah, there's multiple teams that are going after pass rushers and corners.
Yep.
That's why I think,
And that's what we need.
At the deadline, it might heat up a little bit. Now, the first phone call I would make is to Cleveland for Cam Ward. I mean, for Denzel.
Denzel Ward,
He would be my top pick because of his age.
Bring your microphone up a bit.
Then I would call the
Not
Saints.
you, Scott. Not you.
All right.
Jesse. He's a little low. There you go.
Then I would call the Saints. Those
Yeah.
would be my first two calls right there.
I would.
And
agree
who
with that.
knows? They're probably already calling. You know what I mean? They'll have had the phone already
been-
there talking.
you know,
They've been
I-
talking for weeks.
I was
I'm sure.
listening to, of course, I always listen to John Keim. He said the other day, these phones are working all the time. That's their job.
Yeah.
They don't just show up to work and sit there and do crossword puzzles. Every day since they've been there, the phones are working. They're looking always to build up. So this has been a great discussion. Let me move along a little bit here and let's do some
Head smash.
let's do some butt pats and head smacks. This is our version
Head smash.
of game balls, I guess we would call it. All right, so we'll start with you, Jesse. Our first butt pat on offense, sir. Who do you think?
I mean, how can you not give it to Jaden Daniels?
Attaboy.
You can't. You have to.
Do we have a tracker for the amount of times that Jesse has just taken Jaden Daniels off the board right away?
What else can you do?
But we can all say Jaden Downs. Let's give that a four-way. Let's give that a four-way.
Oh, Jaden in a four-way.
Attaboy.
That's one for the After Dark podcast again.
There you go.
Eiffel Towering with your friends.
After Dark.
Hey.
Attaboy.
All right.
what
So
you guys-
then, and you're right. How can you not give it to Jaden? He's been masterful, and it hasn't been like he has been a one-man team throwing it all over the place. He's been very efficient, extremely efficient. Probably the most efficient quarterback maybe of all time by the time he's done.
Percentage.
Scotty, what about you? First butt pat on offense, sir.
Got to be Terry, hasn't it? 2 touchdowns, 2 receptions. That's it. Simple as that.
Here, let's
He's
hear
a
what Dante Banks had to say.
Could have came and got me at 16.
First off, he looks like one of those stupid fucking dogs that you only see on the goddamn Westminster Dog Show, and it looks like a goddamn walking mop. But hey,
Could have came and got me at 16, and they didn't. Now I'm 2-0 against you bum ass boys. Fuck the Commanders. They think they slick. They finna see me 2 times a year until the end of my career. 2 times a year. Should have came and got me. I'm just trying to figure out though. Did 17 play today? That's all I want to know.
yes, he did. We came and got you, Deontay Banks. And the fact that we have to play you 2 times a year is really good. I don't think that you understood at the time that you were saying, I got to play for the fucking Giants. Yeah, so fuck him. We were discussing other things earlier. Yes, those are some.
That's a different version.
Right. Those are.
What
can we do with this? I don't know what the fuck that is, but this is a sport. How do you fucking practice?
Do you know what that is?
It's a
That's
world
Guinness
record
World
being
Records.
set.
Yeah, he's bouncing a ping pong ball. He's spitting it out and catching it. And you got
I
the
know.
world record
I know
for that in
exactly
a
what it
minute.
is. And he's setting a world record. The thing I want to know is, dude, how do you discover you have this fucking talent? All right. So that's Deontay Banks for the most part. That's what Deontay Banks is doing with Terry while he's jumping over top of him. Did 17 play today? Yes, he did. Now you're 2-2, bitch. And Terry is 2-0 as of yesterday. 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Bye-bye, Deontay. All right, Max, your first butt pat on offense.
I got to give it to Brandon Coleman.
Attaboy.
You know,
Fuck yeah.
He had the pressure of it stepping up against that defensive line. And, you know, the entire offensive line could get one, but I'm going to leave that for this guy. But Brandon Coleman specifically, there we go. That's what
Brandon
you need
Coleman.
as a franchise left tackle.
There he is. Watch these plays, man. You ain't getting anywhere close. You're just not getting in there. Look at these techniques with his hands. Get away. Slap, smack, get away.
That's Brian Burns as well.
I know.
I mean, it's not. It's not like it's some bum. You know what I mean? It's one of the best pass rushers in the entire league.
They gave up a lot of capital to get that guy, and he
Correct.
just got held off the score sheet again.
That's right. So, I mean, when you look at the fact that everybody said if we manage to somehow get a franchise quarterback and a left tackle in the same draft, honest to God, build a statue for Peters right now, if that's the case. If Brandon Coleman, I mean, dude, that's a masterclass. You said it earlier there, Jesse. This whole offense was a masterpiece yesterday. But look at the play they're getting out of these players. We were all down on this offensive line, except for Jesse, who kept looking at PFF and telling us that we were all wrong. And maybe you were right. I hate to say it, but maybe you were right. So here, take your victory route. I don't know if you noticed, but back there on the right-hand side, that's Andrew Wiley in his little costume. See him there? So, yeah, man. I'm going to go ahead and give a butt pat to the offensive line. I thought they played great, and I'll go ahead and give a special butt pat to squeamish Nick Allegretti for pulling Brandon Coleman's dislocated finger back into place.
I was going to give him a head smack for that.
Oh, really?
Toughen up.
Toughen up. Yeah. Well, hey, man, he said he did it to himself before, right? But he had never done it to another guy. So, that's
another one for the After Dark. There you go.
That's part of the After Dark right there. So, Brandon Coleman, attaboy, offensive line. Attaboy. And even you, Andrew Wiley. Attaboy. Dude, Taylor Biotis. Attaboy.
Unbelievable. That block on Lawrence was ridiculous.
Who?
You just absolutely manhandling Dexter Lawrence. I was like,
who?
Okay.
I didn't hear his name all damn day.
Exactly, John.
There you go. All right, so we're going to continue on the happiness here. We'll just start off with some butt pats on defense. Max, we'll start with you.
Can we keep going on offense?
Oh, yeah, we can keep going on offense. Please, keep smacking asses, Scott. Who you got?
Christian Rodriguez Jr. was amazing yesterday.
He was. After the first carry or two, he settled into it, and he started looking like the back that we started to see at the end of last year.
Not Christian, but yeah.
Chris Rodriguez. I like him because he runs angry. He runs hard, man. You know, when he hits somebody, he runs into him. I like that. Jesse, who do you got?
John Bates was blocking his ass off as well, maybe.
Anybody else?
Noah Brown.
Yeah, Noah Brown.
Noah Brown had a big game. He made a couple of catches that were tough, man. That first at the sidelines there, not the one that got the pass interference, but he caught that pass at the sidelines in the first quarter. That pass looked like it threw him out of bounds.
It looked like it fucking like hit him in the shoulder pad and like yanked him back.
Knocked
Had
him
some
back.
Zip on that thing.
Oh yeah, Scott G, good shout there. The C-Rod block was clutch. Yeah, remember that where he
Oh, yeah,
absolutely
he threw that dude up
beasted him
over end.
Yeah, man, I was like, wow, okay. Max, you got anyone else for offense?
Not for off. I mean, Olamad's accused for getting that wide open.
Yeah,
but
yeah, there you go.
know.
Good shout.
Absolutely. I think all
Cliff
of our running
Kingsbury?
backs, Cliff Kingsbury
Johnson?
always gets Brian. Just give it to the whole offense. They were spectacular yesterday, and I mean when I say spectacular, they weren't anything other than completely efficient, and that I think is the watchword for this offense. When they want to score 38, they do. Yesterday, we had at the end of our chat, we had a slight little argument between us and Scouse about should we score or not. Scouse was like, "No, let him. This takes a piss on him," which would again, with you and your urine. I don't know. Everything's about piss.
His very words were lie at the 1 yard line and just take the piss, take some knees. And he was right. Take the knee, take the knees.
We could score, but we don't want to. We feel sorry for you. That is a smack in the face.
especially on the road.
That is in your
On
own
the road,
stadium.
yeah.
That's right. So let's give them a. There you go, Giants. We could score, but we don't want to. Our stats are good enough. We don't need anything else. Fuck you. By the way, Daniel Jones, come on. 0 yards passing in the first half. What the fuck's the matter with you?
We had a touchdown.
He did have a touchdown.
That reminds me. Do you remember the Jerome Bettis line? That's my favorite line of all time, where he had 5 carries, 2 yards, and 3 touchdowns in a complete game.
Yeah. Your internet's blinking again.
Okay.
All right, so we've given a butt pat to everybody on the offense. We're clear on
basically.
that? We're good?
Yeah.
Even Zach Ertz had a pretty good game, I thought. So.
Max is in days of our lives possessed
There he is
again. Exactly.
He's possessed. All right.
But Pat for fourth down offense.
11 out of 11.
11.
Max, jump out and come back.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you
All right, defense, butt pass. Dante Fowler. I've been trying to look up his stat line for yesterday, but Fowler 2 sacks or 2.5 sacks, I think, and a fumble.
Forced fumble.
Calls the fumble.
Now, do I remember right on the 2-point conversion that they failed to get? Did Jones fumbled and then it bounced right up to him, right?
Yeah.
I would have laughed like hell if we'd have picked it up and ran it back because that would have taken their 2 points and given it to us.
Yeah.
I would have
So
laughed
his
like hell.
2 sacks, 2
I've got it
quarterback
here.
hits, and 1 forced fumbled. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've got here.
You stole my butt.
Okay.
All right.
Not my fault you got possessed.
All right, Scotty, what about you? Butt pats on defense.
I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit. Jeremy Chin was outstanding yesterday, and he was team captain, and he was team captain as well. The way he just accelerated to absolutely destroy Malik Neighbours, I was like, "Whoo! You're going to feel that in the morning, mate. You need an ice bath after that hit because he just come down and just like an Exocet missile. He was there." But this is it. Can you not see though? This is the thing. I know Max was trying to get it out of Jessy earlier by saying, "Look, let's look at what we're doing on defense, and we're starting to get it now. Look at the way that they're playing. They're playing with fun. They're playing with
They run around.
tackling.
They're fast.
They fly to the ball.
They definitely are running around. Maybe it's a scheme issue. I don't know. Something's just not right.
Go ahead, Max.
Sorry.
Who's your first butt pat on defense?
You took Fowler, you took Chin. I mean, Bobby Wagner was just everywhere again. Even though he didn't have the most tackles, he's just there.
Yeah. I mean, he's really the commander of that defense. I mean, he's so
I will have
good.
to say that
He's the Hall of Famer. He's
I
doing
can admit-
exactly why we brought him here.
I was wrong about him just because I thought he was too old to be what we wanted him to be, and I am pleasantly happy that I am wrong.
There's no other way to be happy. You can't be unpleasantly happy.
I mean, you
It's just-
could.
no, you can't. It's not possible.
You just haven't had that experience yet, Pops. It's okay.
Dude, let me tell you. All right, I'm giving my first butt pat on defense to a very big butt indeed. Fadarian Mathis, I thought, had another good, strong game.
Yeah, but you know what he did?
What?
He let that ball go through his arms like he was
I know.
Winnie the
He
Pooh
did.
like it was a honeypot.
He did. I'm giving this to him for one play, and it was a sack of Daniel Jones, and he flopped on him. Like, what was that guy for the Ravens that used to stand in the end zone? He was on TV all the damn time. Siragusa. He flopped on him like Tony Siragusa flopped in the Super Bowl on Rich Gannon.
Real quick.
I loved it. I'm like, because I can't stand the Giants. I hate them more than anything. I probably would rather have a case of herpes than to have to like put a New York Giant in my house for more than an hour.
Real quick, Jesse, in case this is relevant to any of your stuff, Jalen McMillan is out tonight.
Ooh.
When we hit the Giants quarterback, I get a
They
chubby.
ain't got no receivers, man. That does hurt my.
They have Kate Otten. That's about it.
Damn.
That's right. They got Kate Otten. My guy. See, that's my only problem in our. I think in our fantasy league, we really haven't given an update for that yet. But I'm not really concerned about it. I'm still talking about Fedarian Mathis and the way that he came down with both arms up, so the referee could see that he wasn't going to give him the business, and just landed with all that weight right on Daniel Jones. You know what we call that out in the country, Daniel? Your uncle knew. It's called corn squeezins. We fucking just mashed you. I liked that. All right. Anybody else got a butt pat on defense? Jesse, you got anybody else?
Nope.
How about you, Scotty?
No.
Max?
No, not that I can think of.
I'm going to go ahead and just give another one to Jeremy Chin because I thought he played the best game on defense. That dude was flying around. All right, head smacks. We're going to go around to the negatives.
Yeah.
Head smacks on defense. We'll start there first with you, Jesse. I know who you're going to go with right away.
Actually, no, you don't. I'm gonna let the low-hanging fruit for one of y'all. I'm gonna go Mike Sanders still.
That's who I said. I knew you were going with that.
I don't think he had the best game yesterday, and letting Daniel Jones just mollywop you at the fucking goal line. I mean,
Oh, yeah, you can't do that.
not only him, but Fowler too.
Fowler.
One
Fowler,
play,
yeah.
got two of
Fowler
them in
trying to
one
tackle
play.
with his
Come
shoulder
on.
blade.
Come on.
Yeah, you
So
got to
Scouts
wrap
just
He had a
up.
putting
good
out-
game, and that's fine. He's a rookie. He's still. But he didn't have the greatest game yesterday.
Scout's just put in our chat there saying, "Oh, you're giving a good game to Fowler," saying the guy got railroaded by a QB. It wasn't all his. It wasn't his tackle. It was Sanders' tackle, and he tried to get there. But yes, he did get railroaded. I agree, Scouts. But man, what are you talking about? 2.5 sacks and a forced fumble. Behave yourself. Behave yourself.
Behave, Scouts.
He had a great game. He's on for his highest ever. If he stays the same, he's on for his highest ever sack totals of a season of 11, and he may beat that. He may beat that. He might not, but he may do.
He's shite. He made one bad play. He's shite.
You've ever said in your life.
Bottle boy.
He might do it. He might not, but he just might.
Way to take a stand, Scotty. All right. Let's see. We just had an argument with Scouts, and I forgot where we
But
were.
Pat's Scott's or head
No, one
smacks.
head
Scott's
smacks.
up.
on
smacks.
defense.
Benjamin
All right, so-
St. Juice, just fucking awful.
Yeah, he was fucking awful. And we mean that. And I'll say it for you in French Canadian since you don't understand English. Attaboy. Oh, excuse me. That's Get out of here. Hey, you hoser. Get on out of town here, yo. We don't want to get around here anymore. You're always giving up the first down or causing a penalty there. Max, who's your head smack on defense?
Fedarian Mathis. What? Because he can't catch the ball. That's
What? You're gonna catch a ball?
Look at him. Look at. He's a big boy.
Look at
The ball's flying right at him.
He
and it
almost
pushes
tripped
right
on
through
that
his
damn
own
thing too. He almost ate shit stepping with that ball too.
That's for you.
That ball came
Can
right
I also
between his, It
just-
was like a basketball play.
Just before I forget, can I go back and give a hat tip, not necessarily a butt pat, like maybe a little butt
tweak,
caress,
a little tweak.
for Trent Scott. That man looked like he was doing the 40-yard dash in motion. What was that?
Wait a second. Did you just say a butt caress?
A butt caress.
A butt
yes,
caress, yeah.
gave a little caress.
A little caress, yeah.
Scott, we're gonna reach out to your wife.
Oh, she's probably
she's
sitting right
fine.
there next to him. Oh, I'd have caressed his butt, yeah. But, you know.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah, they did. Both of them.
They were
did.
terrible. Didn't have a good game, by either of them.
No. Max, you gave yours, right? You gave
Yeah,
yours
Fedarian
to Fedarian Mathis. F you, buddy. I'm just gonna go ahead and give mine because I'm gonna go kind of counter to everything, and I'm not giving this for any kind of reality. I mean, it is reality, but it's not something I consider to be terrible. But I'm gonna give it to Bobby Wagner because that running game is coming right up the middle on us for the most part. You're the middle linebacker, and I get what we're doing, and I know why it's happening, but I got nobody else that I can give it to. Overall, I thought the defense played a fine game. They did give up a lot in the run, But I think that we've talked about why. I think they sell out to stop the pass to protect poor cornerbacks so that we don't give up. Look, Jesse, I see you making the face, but to me it's a choice of giving up 35, 40 yards per play or 6. I get it. We're giving up 5.6 yards per run, which is why I'm giving a head smack. Bobby Wagner, that's on your resume there, buddy. You're the middle linebacker. But overall,
I think you should go a little bit towards Joe Witt, maybe.
He's working with what he can.
I think some scheme has to do with it. I think that there's some scheme
I think that's the scheme, is to go after the quarterback. I mean, even you see your tackles. A lot of times the teams will use their tackles to eat up space and just stand there and let the linebackers lance through and make tackles. But we don't do that. We come fucking barreling in, man. We just come straight ahead.
When you think about those defenses that Dan Quinn ran when he made his name, they weren't really stopping the run. They were letting run happen, and then they were coming up and hitting. That's what they were doing back then.
The bend but don't break has been working. We're only giving up 21 points a game, and that is a winning formula. Even if we had fucking Sam, I can't even remember his name anymore, Sam Howell, that's a winning formula. So, anyway, head smacks on offense. Are there any?
No.
Max, you got one? Jesse's worked hard on that fart.
Not that I can think of.
Offensive.
It's hard to think of anybody that really had a bad game on offense. I wonder, this isn't any kind of a head smack, but okay, Eckler, why did Chris Rodriguez play so much going down the stretch? Where's Jeremy McNichols for most
Eckler
of that
got
game?
hurt.
I know Eckler did, but what about McNichols? Did he sustain any injury? I haven't seen any reports today, but I thought Chris Rodriguez played an excellent football game, but they gave him a lot more carries down the stretch than I thought, and that made me wonder.
Well, I mean, think of it, too, is the whole reason Rodriguez is there is because of Robinson's injury.
Right.
So
But
he
here's
could
an
be RB3.
interesting tidbit as well on that. We now have to make a decision with Chris Rodriguez because he has been called up more than the number of times. So we have to find it's 3. He's already been up 3 times because when Eckler had his head knock, he was called up. So he cannot be automatically brought back down to the practice squad, which means we have to find a place on the 53 for him, and he has to clear waivers. No, he has to clear waivers.
They're going to,
we have to actually physically cut him.
Yeah.
Wait, what? To keep him on the 53?
Yes. Yeah, he can't be put straight back down.
Or you have
no, I get that. But,
no.
So I'm
to
saying
keep him on the 53, we can
I think
find
he's earned his
you can
spot.
find
I think he proved his spot this week.
And they'll get rid of Forrest for that.
Maybe.
Jesse's prediction will come true. He just sat right there and went, "Hey, I can bring my prediction about Forrest into this."
So, just a slight amendment to that, Scott. If they can send him back down, this is the last time. If they want to activate him again, that's when they'll have to bring him. Yes,
I don't think so. No,
that's what this says.
Well, what is that?
What says? This is his 3rd time coming up. They can't send him back down.
Can't send it back down.
Running back Rodriguez Jr. has been elevated from the practice squad for the 3rd time and will need to be signed to the 53-man roster if they want him active again. So you can go up and down 3 times.
Otherwise, they're going to have to cut him.
So that
means he can't go back to the practice squad.
Yes, he can go back to the squad. He can return.
He can't.
That's what this says. He can return to the practice squad, and then if they want to bring him to the active roster, they have to sign him.
Who's saying that? Because that's not the rule.
That's not right.
Read it again.
I promise you that is not right. He cannot go back to the practice squad.
It's been all over. It's been covered all over today.
Find the NFL rule. Give me a minute.
They've been covering all over the radio today.
Yeah, I thought it was the same. I heard it, yeah.
That either they keep him on the 53 or he's going to have to go to waivers. Now, he can go to waivers and get cleared and come back on the practice squad.
Right. But he won't clear waivers, I don't think. And honestly, I think he's earned a spot.
Every radio station, radio show has been talking about this.
So this is from the NFL rules. You can use a standard elevation to make as many as 2 practice squad players available to play in a regular season game without moving them to the active roster. However, the elevation can only be used a maximum of 3 times on a single player. To make a player available for the 4th regular season game, he would then need to be moved to the active roster. He is fine for now. If they want to elevate him a 4th time, he has to be signed.
Yeah, I don't think that's clear. No, that's
I
not
think
what everybody's
either
talking
way,
about today.
I don't think he
Yeah, I
should be
agree.
going back down to the
Yeah.
practice squad anyway. I think he's earned a spot. I think he showed his value in the
know
fourth
if he's
quarter of
earned
that
a
game
spot.
yesterday. Man, that's a good defensive
Do you
line.
think he warrants the spot over Forrest?
Yes.
Yeah.
So then he
Forrest
earns the
hasn't
spot.
even
done
suited up
nothing.
this year.
So then Rodriguez earned the spot.
Yeah, I think
So
he's earned a
who's
spot.
what's Michael Walker doing still hanging around?
That's another one whose spot. I mean,
that's
they've
a
got
depth.
options there that they can use to be able to keep him on the roster. And I honestly, one thing we've seen about Eckler is he's excellent when he's in the game, but that is spotty because he gets dinged, and that's something he's always done throughout his career.
We need to wrap
So-
this up. I got to go.
Okay, well,
Okay.
we'll wrap it up right now then. We'll be, everybody, let's see. Well, yeah, this has been a good discussion about the Commanders'
Yes.
wonderful, decisive victory over the fucking hated New York Giants. That's for you, Daniel Jones, and that's for you, everybody else that likes Daniel Jones. And if you happen to be a Giant fan watching this podcast, I really don't hate you too much. You know, I'd rather just put a penny in your pencil cup and say, be on your way, young fella. Anyway, let's put the music on. Because I'm the world's worst podcast host, I got to get my shit straight. So this is our go out music. And anyway, it's been a fun time talking with everybody about all kinds of shit in the Commanders' 7-2 record now. Their victory over the hated New York Giants, a sweep over the hated New York Giants, a sweep over the subhuman New York Giants. And I shouldn't say that because in the political climate, that's not nice. All right, so Scotty and his friend Scouse are on the 1 Point Safety Show on Thursdays at 3 p.m. here on the East Coast of the United States. And we will be back on Friday evening at 5:30 to preview the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you know what I say about the Pittsburgh Steelers? A bunch of freaking LGBTQ plus people.
Did we mention they are 11 for 11 on fourth down?
We are 11 for 11 on fourth down. It's like a given. We are 11 for 11, which I do believe in the parlance is 100%. And so on that note, it's only one of the many positives you can punch on this offense. Everything is working. And we will see you on Friday afternoon. Jesse's got to take a shit. We'll see you later.
Gotta go.